apparently there's some argument about, I guess, my partisan feelings, I guess, on shitting on one side or the other more than one or the other. And I guess this is the best way to address it. Firstly, Trump is catching the most amount of shit because he's fucking president now, and I just kind of started this YouTube page. But I could just as easily do the same shit for Trump. The reason Jeff Sessions is catching a lot of shit is, again, because he's the current Attorney General. But furthermore, Eric Holder should probably fucking go to jail. The Fast and Furious thing was kind of a big fucking deal, too, that got swept under the rug. I think Obama did some really shitty things while he was in office. I think he was elected based on the idea of transparency and Gitmo. And guess what? Fucking Gitmo's still there. A lot of bad guys are locked up right next to guys who didn't do shit. And I hate to say it, there's some issues with that entire process. It's something that's been touched on before in other videos, but again, politics is turning into a fucking football team. Everyone has just decided what side that they're going to root for and who they're going to support, and they don't give a fuck beyond that. What evidence comes up, whatever goes on, and I guess today, earlier, I actually discussed how ironic it is that if I can tell you what your opinion is going to be, and how it's going to spin, and what defenses you're going to use before you actually even chime in on it, that probably means you might have a little bit of bias there. I mean, why is it the people that right now today, quote unquote, are Trump supporters are 100% going to believe everything that benefits Trump that comes out, regardless of its validity, over the next 4 years? And again, Obama supporters and Hillary supporters and Bernie supporters don't get off fucking easy. Because I hate to say it, you're in the exact same fucking boat. There's plenty of politicians that I've liked that have done some pretty cool things. But at the same time, I don't have a problem or any bones about saying, you fucked up. Again, it's great if you want to fucking root for your team, but it's not a fucking game. It's fucking politics. When these guys break the rules, sometimes people die. People go to jail, or they should at the very least. So when you're talking about these big picture issues, stop fucking trying to turn it into something, nitpicky. Like let's figure a way of deflecting or spinning this or trying to turn it into what. I guess the crazy thing is no one really knows yet, because not all the information is in what capacity Attorney General Jeff Sessions had with Russian diplomats. Now, he was there in an official capacity, and some people were saying, well, yeah, he was in a room full of 30 other fucking foreign diplomats. So, yeah, totally, he was there doing his duty in the job that he had, and that put him in proximity of people who might, look at it like he's under the gun or under scrutiny. If that's the level of witch hunt that the DNC is using in this example, then yeah, totally, they deserve to have their fucking shit called out. That, yeah, there's no problem there. However, conversely, if it turns out that there was some inappropriate shit, that he was doing a little bit more than shaking hands or hobnobbing or, whatever, in the capacity of working for Trump, that becomes a problem too. That sort of branches into, I guess, a larger issue, though, too, of when the fuck was the last time any of our politicians recused themselves from something that they thought maybe isn't a good idea because it could potentially cross some ethical lines? My wife's an attorney. She tells me all the fucking time about crazy shit that, like, you can't pursue a case because so-and-so who's involved with this case plays golf on Wednesdays with this guy. Like, that shit's real. And when you're talking about the Attorney General of the fucking United States, that's the head lawyer in charge of he's like the general of lawyers. He should fucking know how the rules work. And that's on both sides. Again, fucking Holder totally should have it. And So should Jeffy. When those guys ignore the rules and they pretend that they're not there, or they try to manipulate them for their own goals, that's fucking gross. And I don't give a shit what side of the fence you believe in or what team you're rooting on. Both sides are fucked up, and they do that shit all the time. Good examples go all the way back to Dick Cheney, who was one of the CEOs for Halliburton, was taking shit tons of money from, basically the energy side of that before drafting a fucking energy policy. And was essentially being paid right out in the fucking open by people who he formerly worked for, but is now drafting, fucking bills for. That's kind of a fucking conflict of interest. And some of these guys might need to start kind of separating how politics, their personal life, and their business lives come together. And now, I mean, I hate to say it again, Trump left a lot of fucking doors open for fucking criticism. He has businesses basically throughout Washington that kind of fall into a lot of really weird fucking gray areas. Is it a conflict of interest when he has foreign diplomats staying at his fucking hotels? Some taxpayers might have a little bit of an issue with that. There's buildings that he's basically renting out from the government, or are technically considered like under governmental rules. So in some cases, he gets to be his own landlord because now he's president, and he's not really fully separating himself from a lot of his financial interests. That can fucking cause us big problems later on down the road. He's tried to do things like pass a lot of his business stuff over to his sons, but is still fucking definitely keeping his hand in the pot. As where a lot of people were saying, hey man, like, you took the office of president, your personal businesses and your billions should probably be put in a blind trust, and you're not allowed to touch that shit until afterwards. But he's not. And the issue with that is, if something comes up in another few weeks or months or over the next 4 years that puts into question some of his financial dealings and how it relates to him being president, or puts him in a bad light, you guys can't fucking complain. You're not allowed to fucking bitch and go, well, how are we supposed to... This kind of shit is a problem. It's looking 3 steps ahead and going, hey, maybe ethically, maybe Jeff shouldn't have fucking taken the AG job if he knew that while in capacity of dealing with some foreign diplomats and all that stuff, and taking a job later on for Trump, that there might be some questions. I mean, now it starts getting into some thin areas, and I'm not trying to pitch that he should have been psychic about fucking taking the position or not, but maybe more of these fucking guys on Capitol Hill on both sides should start fucking recusing themselves from some of these fucking positions if it's going to put them in a bad light. And what they definitely don't fucking need is more people fucking defending and just saying, yeah, it's totally cool to jump ship, to go from a governmental job doing a fucking job for the taxpayers and the American people, and then jumping ship and going fucking private in these huge cushy fucking jobs after sort of kind of fucking working the system to work in their benefit and their favor. That's fucking shady as shit. I mean, I'm not shocked because we have an entire system based essentially on lobbyists. Fucking DC has more money flooding into it from all sorts of sources than you can shake a fucking stick at. And I don't know how you separate those two animals from each other, but it's fucking bad. This is kind of the beginning of some really interesting ethical questions that Americans as a whole need to start fucking looking into. And that's, again, it's not just Trump. I mean, again, to attack some of the bullshit that Obama's done, he fucking originally was trying to pitch the idea of transparency for the American people and, trying to go that route with things. And then what did he fucking do? Expanded on a lot of the information gathering, which is stuff that, Ed Snowden basically came out and proved. Again, you could be a fucking Obama supporter and like most of the stuff that he did, but fucking call that shit out. If that's kind of fucking gross or it sounds a little fucked up to you, That's fine. It doesn't mean that you can't believe anymore, that you hate the guy across the fucking board, but it's that accountability. When people get fucking angry and pissed off at fucking, our political leaders, that's a good thing. God damn it, it keeps them in fucking check. Every once in a while, some of these guys will maybe start fucking double thinking if there's phone calls flooding into local leadership and congressmen start getting phone calls and fucking senators and reps. That's how the system is supposed to fucking work. The irony is most Americans are still under the impression that the only thing you need to vote for is your fucking president. And the shitty part of that is it doesn't fucking matter anymore. President really, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't have a whole lot of fucking power. But we have a Congress that has an approval rating, and it's in the fucking teens, and they have a fucking like 96% or higher fucking re-election rate. That's your fault, America. That's fucking the average dumb idiot walking around fucking screaming about this party did this or that party did that. I hate to say it, both parties are fucked up, and they're totally fucking you, and they're fucking me, and stop giving them a goddamn pass by trying to defend them and picking a side. Because you're not really uncovering the bullshit from either side when you've picked a side that's just as fucked up. Both sides have blood on their hands. Both sides are just as corrupt, have just as many shitty fucking underhanded tactics. And just by picking a side and attacking, no one's going to wake up. All they're going to say is the reason you're attacking the left is because you're firmly situated on the right. The only way we're probably going to have any progress is if more people in the middle, moderates, are calling out both sides. And at the same time, giving compliments where compliments are due. When Trump does some fucking awesome shit and starts fucking playing solid games, cool. That's where you'll earn some compliments. There's a few things Obama did that I do like. But, that doesn't define it. I didn't pick a team. I'm not on Team Obama. I think fucking Hillary is the goddamn devil. Glad she didn't get in. I think Bernie is very confused about how an economy is supposed to work. That didn't leave a whole lot of options this time around. And I think the scary reason that, we don't have these options is because people are fucking, they're so busy focusing on what their team is doing that they're losing track of the big picture. And the big picture is both sides are fucked up. Both sides. And it's up to you to fix that shit. Call them out. Call out their bullshit. It's cool if you voted for Trump and you like him for the most part and you think he's going to do great things. Awesome. That doesn't detract from criticism. Okay? Like, you're allowed to shit talk him and still think he's going to do a good job. Call him out. And then maybe, who knows, maybe we'll have one of these leaders that hears the shit talk and actually starts trying to not fuck up as much. Because they say, okay, well, at least people are over here supporting me about X, Y, and Z. I'm going to make absolutely certain that, I don't open my doors up to a lot of this criticism. I'm going to wait and see how things pan out, what other information apparently the DNC is going to come forward. Because this whole thing could totally be a witch hunt. It could be nothing more than a desperate attempt or a ploy from the left to try to discredit Sessions. They want him out. They're trying to fucking really, really hard connect Trump in any way, shape, or form they can to the Russians, and they want to try to prove some gigantic, nefarious plot. Maybe there is a plot. That wouldn't shock me because everyone seems to be a fucking asshole on both sides. Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. And it's getting tougher and tougher to tell because the media isn't giving you facts, it's giving you spin. And that's why I think everyone picks sides. You find a source that you like, that agrees with your ideology, and you apparently just fucking run with it. That's scary shit. Knock it the fuck off. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, just like the last video, if there's something I've said that pisses you off or sticks in your craw, I fucking want to hear it. Comment. Post that shit. If you agree, cool. That's cool too. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff. See you soon.